All right, so it's 7:02 and I'm calling this meeting of the Wakefield Youth Council to order. So I'm going to take attendance. I know some people won't be joining us tonight because it's a really busy time of year, which is totally okay. And some people are hopping on late. So just say here when I call your name. Yana,
Here.
Ali,
Here.
Thomas,
Here.
Nick. Not seeing.
Here.
Thank you. Paige isn't here. Josh is not here. I know Sophie will be here late. Ali's not here. Tegan, not here. Madeline,
Here.
Charlotte. Charlotte is here. Paige.
Here.
Matt. Oh, Paige is here. Thank you. Bella. Juliana. Megan.
Here.
And Marie. It's not on. All right, so we have a pretty small group tonight. And we should go through the agenda pretty quickly. So next up on the agenda, we have public comment. So if there's anybody here from the public wishing to speak, you can either raise your hand or unmute. All right, I'm not seeing anybody. So now we have approval of the meeting minutes, and I totally forgot to send them out. I usually try to send them out the day before the meeting, but I just sent them a few minutes ago. Did everybody see those? Do we feel good to approve them? All right, cool. All right, so do I have a motion to approve the meeting minutes from our last meeting?
I motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second. And also, sorry, I'm kind of glitchy right now. I couldn't get my microphone to work.
No worries at all. I have you marked here on attendance, so you are all good. Thank you. All right, so I'm going to call the roll. Yana,
Yes.
Ali, all right, Thomas.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Ali, you cut out for a second. No worries.
Okay.
And let me see. We're missing a lot of people, so I have to kind of skip through the list. Nick.
Yes.
Madeline.
Yes.
And Charlotte.
Yes.
All right, so that passes unanimously. Next up, we have a communications and outreach subcommittee from Ali. So Ali, go ahead.
So the first thing that I want to talk about is that we're going to be doing some Meet the Members posts. So we did a similar thing last year. So we're going to put pictures along with like a fun fact and some information about each of our members on our Instagram and Facebook pages. Lauren sent the email out, I think, last week. So if all of you can please fill that out, that would be really helpful for us for like promotion for the Youth Council and stuff like that. So the next thing that I want to talk about is that we're going to be doing some posts for annual town meeting, which I believe is May 16th. So hopefully we'll get those up soon. And then the last thing that I was going to mention was we're going to be doing some applications posts. And I know that Madeline was able to get something on the morning announcements at the Galvin, and I was able to get something on the announcements over at the high school. So does anyone have any questions?
Awesome. Thank you so much. And I feel so bad I wasn't able to go to that meeting. But it sounds like you were very productive and you're always doing amazing stuff. The announcement at the high school at least sounded really good. And I'm sure it was great at the middle school. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about applications for the next term a little bit later on. All right. So anything else for the communications and outreach subcommittee? Not seeing any. All right, so next up, Nick, I would love for you or you and Yana and whoever else was at the meeting with Mr. McGrath to talk about the recreation department focus group.
Yeah, we talked about it, and he said he thought it was a good idea that we have a meeting. He said we can do it at the Galvin. I emailed Andrew Tetrout, the principal of the Galvin, he said we can do it in any of the project rooms, basically anytime, because he said there's not really anything booked there anytime soon.
Great, thank you. Does anybody else that was there, anybody have anything to add to that?
I'm sorry, I was not able to make that meeting.
No
I
worries.
don't have anything.
I wasn't either, so. Catherine, do you have anything else to add to the Recreation Department focus group?
Nope, I think we just, Nick, did you decide on a date to do it yet?
Oh, no, I was gonna ask you guys what you want to do for the date because I didn't want to make the decision on my own.
Can we decide on a date so we can secure who can be there to facilitate?
For sure. So let's look. All right. So what are people thinking? Do we want to try to, is this something that would have to be posted as a public meeting? Mr.
No,
Schneider?
it's a
No, it's
private
not.
focus group.
Okay, that sounds right. All right, so we can try to do it next week or the following week. So next week is the week of the 9th, and then the following week is the week of the 16th. So I would say probably the sooner the better, but I think we also need to give ourselves some time to advertise this and kind of plan it. So what are our thoughts? Would we like to do it the week of the 9th or the week of the 16th of May, to clarify?
Maybe late 9th.
Okay, so like later next week, maybe like Wednesday or Thursday. That sounds good. Yeah, I'd say like preferably probably like later in the week of the 9th or early in the week of the 16th. So I
Yeah,
think the sooner the better.
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe like early the week of 16th, just to give enough time to like promote the focus group.
For sure.
I know because of where our youth council cycle's falling, I would prefer to do it next week if possible. But Lauren and Yana, you're scheduled to be facilitators, as are you, Ollie. So what does your schedule next Wednesday or Thursday look like?
I can do it next Thursday.
I can also do it Thursday.
Yeah, most of Thursdays mostly work for me. So
Okay, awesome. So is everybody good if we do it? So I'd say like right after school, probably like the Galvin gets out at 2:15, so maybe 2:30. We can say just to have a time, but we can always start earlier or later.
2:30, but I can only do Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
Okay. So it sounds like Thursday the 12th works for most people. Does that sound good for everybody?
Yeah.
All right, awesome. Cool. So I'll send out a reminder about that. And then we can work on, Ollie and I can work on, and Madeline can work on advertising that with our social media, maybe putting some stuff in the morning announcements.
Ollie, I believe, has a flyer ready to go.
Awesome.
So Nick, which because we really want to focus on getting 7th and 8th graders there, which project room do you think would be the best?
I'd probably just do either 7th or 8th grade. They're both on the 3rd floor, so normally the 8th grade project room I'm pretty sure is usually the classroom for one of the teams, so I'd do the 7th grade project room.
Okay, so Thursday, next Thursday, what's that date?
The 12th.
12th. 7th grade project room at from 2:30 to 3, do we want to say?
Sure.
So Nick, do you want to confirm that with the building admin or Madeline?
Just writing up an email right now to make sure it's okay.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I'll update the flyer for that with this information.
Perfect. And then I'll leave once that is done. If you want to send that to me, I can post it on the Facebook, and then Madeline can maybe post that on the Instagram.
Yeah.
Great. Does everybody feel good about that?
Do you think that's all that's needed, or do you think we should print it and get it posted around the Galvin, the 7th and 8th grade hallways?
We'll usually
We
look
can
at and like actually
do that
listen to
too.
things posted around Galvin, so that would be a good idea.
So Charlotte, if I gave you a stack of the copies of the flyers, could you work with the other youth council members like Marie and Madeline and Nick to get those flyers up around the 7th and 8th grade?
Yeah, I can. I'm able to hang them up before Wednesday, so I'll just spread them out between floors and like the cafeteria and stuff.
Okay, I'll bring those over to your place.
Awesome. That sounds great.
Like my house or my classroom?
Probably your house because you're right around the corner from me. So,
Okay, perfect.
or your house or your classroom.
All right. Anything else about the recreation department? Ideas, concerns? Anything? Great. I'm excited. And this will also give us enough time to talk about it at our next meeting, which will be the following week. So it's perfect. Great. Anything else before we move on? All right, I'm not seeing any. All right, let me get the agenda up. So next up is our town election update. First, I would like to congratulate Mr. Chines. He has been reelected to be on the Wakefield Town Council, which is awesome. So congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Of course. So I have some numbers, and then I also have everybody that was elected. So in Wakefield, there are 19,793 registered voters. And of that number, 3,310 people voted. So it's a small turnout. I think last year we had like a record high number for turnout. And I don't think we made that this year. So maybe we can think about how next year we can do some more voter outreach, maybe start a little bit earlier. I saw a lot of people. I actually went and voted with Yana, which is really cool because it was the first time that either of us voted. And I saw a lot of kids our age, which was awesome to see. So for the town council, it's Mr. Chines, Mike McLean, and Bob Vincent. Then for school committee, it's Tom Markham, Eileen Colleran, and Kevin Fontanella. The gas and light commissioners are, I might mess up some last names, Thomas Botcher and Philip Corsi. Betcher, thank you. For the Board of Assessors, it is Brian Dungan.
Yep.
Donegan. Oh my gosh, I'm not doing well. The library trustees are Christopher Barrett, Jeffrey Quinn, and Jacqueline Natalie.
Natali.
Oh my god. I will learn, I promise, because all these people are very important. All right, I think I got this one. The planning board is Elaine Silva. Great.
Board of Health is Elaine Silva. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, this is so embarrassing. I promise I did my research. The Board of Health. And then the constable, the 3-year constable is Christian Lopes. And then the housing authority is Sarah Fowler. Okay, I pulled it together at the end. So it's awesome to have some new names and some same names in Wakefield. So it's very exciting. Does anybody have any questions about the town election or anything? Cool. And I'm thinking for our next meeting, we can invite the new members of the town council, because I think we had towards the beginning of the year, this might have even been last term, we had some town council members on just so we could like interact. So I think it would be really nice if we had the new ones this year, just to kind of put faces to names, all that good stuff. Cool. Anything about the town election?
Can I just say a thank you and congratulations, Lauren and Yana, to both of you and to all of the other high school students who were able to vote for the first time. I remember when I voted for the first time, I was 18, many years ago. But it's great that you guys came out, and it's great to come out for a local election too. I mean, local elections don't get as much attention as state or national elections, but they are really important. And the decisions that get made by the school committee have a real impact on certainly your day-to-day lives as students, but for everyone in town. So thank you for coming out, and Really, I was excited to see both of you go into the Galvin to vote last Tuesday. It was great.
Thank you. Yeah, it was really exciting. I was actually really nervous and I messed up. It was like a whole thing, but we worked it out. So it was awesome. And now I know, I can say that I'm an experienced voter, which is always good. All right. So now I'm going to talk about our new member application process. So Sherry has put out on the town website and also in the newspaper that applications are now open, which is very exciting. And so I'm hoping that we can plan with the communications and outreach subcommittee promoting that on social media as well, because I think that is how we'll reach the majority of youth that might apply. So the original deadline to apply was Friday, May 13th. But I asked Sherry if we could extend that to the following Friday, which is May 20th, just to give us more time to promote it. And also some more time for youth to fill out the applications. And we are asking for references. So for them to prepare that. Madeline, I will get to you. So current youth council members, so on this call, you will have to reapply. And applicants will get an email with sign-up slots for interviews. So these won't be like high pressure or anything. It's really just for us to get a sense of like who you are, why you're interested in the youth council. And then we will bring those names to the town council for them to get approved and appointed. And our term ends on June 30th. So then that following meeting, I believe I will schedule and run the election for chair and vice chair. I think that's how we did it last year, or maybe I think I actually did it since I was vice chair, but since Yana and I are both leaving the youth council, unfortunately, one of us will do that. So Madeline, do you still have your question?
It was less of a question and more last year. I'm not sure if it was just because I was remote, but I found it very helpful for a teacher to tell us about it, not necessarily like explain everything to us, but to kind of just get word around, having a teacher specifically say it versus having like just an email go out or just seeing something on social media where it's a bit easier to forget. Having it as more of a formal announcement from teachers, I found that to be very helpful because it was more in my mind as like an assignment that I had to do to like remember to do it. And I think that we'll end up reaching more people that way.
Yeah, I agree with what you're saying, Madeline. The first time I applied to the youth council, my teacher had actually talked about it with us, and that's how I found out about this. So yeah, I agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, Catherine, do you want to add on to that?
Sure. I actually, Thomas and I were on the same email with Mr. Pavey, who's head of social studies for grades 5 through 12. And so he is going to ask all the social studies teachers in the middle school and high school to promote it to students, especially, and they might have students that are really excited about local government or got excited through their civics project to apply. So we're hoping, like Madeline and Ollie said, that teachers will help us promote as well as the school social media pages, just to let parents know about it. So sometimes parents might say, oh, this might be something you want to try. So I think as many avenues as possible to get the word out. And I know, Ollie, do you have an update on it as well?
Oh, I don't really have any further updates regarding that.
Okay, so we'll just have the new flyer that Jen McDonald creates ready to go.
Yeah, I just reached out to her actually before this meeting, and I think that she's in the process of making it.
Great, thank you all. Yeah, so it's super exciting. And I will be very sad to move on, but I'm really excited to see what everybody does. So I think
Lauren, I just had a question. Did you do you want to interview returning members, or do you want to make those recommendations based on their past participation?
I think probably make the recommendation based on past participation, just because I'm not sure how many new applicants we'll be getting. So I don't want to like completely flood like the interview process, if that makes sense. But maybe for those that want to do an interview, like we can totally do that. But right now my hunch is to have those members just kind of be recommended to the town council. Does that sound good to everybody? I just want to make sure we're all on the same page. And there was one other thing that I was going to say, but I'm now forgetting. Does anybody have anything? Yeah, Paige, go ahead.
Sorry, I was just wondering, so do we have to like do the whole reapplication process, or will we just like be re-recommended?
Yeah, so what we did last year was that we'd fill out the application, and last year returning members also did interviews, but I think this year we'll just have returning members fill out the application and only do the interviews if you desire, if that sounds good.
Yeah,
Cool.
thank you.
Yeah. And I remember what I was going to say. So the way it was last year, we had 3 seniors on the youth council that would no longer be on after June 30th. So those 3 seniors did the interviews and went through the applications and recommended to the town council. So there wouldn't really be any overlap of returning members. I'm sorry if you hear my dog howl. There are sirens outside my house and he might start howling. There he goes. And so I think that me and Yana, and I'll talk to Nick, and we will kind of go through those interviews and the applications, if that is good with everybody. Awesome. So I think that's it for now. But if you have any other questions, definitely reach out. Please talk to your friends about it so we can get a lot of people on. And then I think once we start to see the application numbers, we can kind of decide if we want to put a cap on the number. I know this year we didn't, and honestly, like it worked out totally fine. But I think that will really depend on how many applicants we get. Catherine, do you have something?
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
I'm on my phone. I'm about to hop into the school committee meeting. I'm over at WCAT. But I did want to point out that people can change to be liaisons with different committees, or so if you think you want to try something new, don't feel like, oh, if I do another year of youth council, I have to be a liaison with the health department again or whatever. So you can make those changes.
Definitely. And also start thinking there will be an opening for chair and vice chair positions. So definitely start thinking if that's something you're interested in. And I'll be sending out, similar to what I did at the beginning, we have like a Google Doc of the roles of each position. And the role of the secretary is on there. So maybe that's something that might come back, the clerk that like takes the meeting minutes. So maybe that's something that will continue next year. And speaking of which, I forgot to put on the agenda to elect a clerk. So is anybody willing to take the meeting minutes for this meeting? Anybody, maybe somebody that hasn't, or if you have and you'd like to.
I can do it. Can you just share the spreadsheet with me?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll do that tonight. Thank you.
Great, thank you.
Great. Awesome. All right. Anything else about the application process? And I'll make sure that we keep talking about this because I really want it to be like a very transparent process where everybody's involved in it. I think the only thing that won't be everybody is just the deliberation about the applicants and the interviews and everything like that. Cool. All right. So next up, I'm going to hand it over to Yana. She's the liaison to the Human Rights Commission. So she's going to give us a little bit of an update about what the HRC has been working on.
Okay, so I have talked about it before in previous meetings, but if you haven't heard, I'm the HRC is hoping to collaborate with the youth council on posting maybe on the Instagram and to really get out to the youth about mental health awareness and supports and breaking the stigma about mental health issues. And so basically we don't have much, this is gonna be like a small presentation, all that, but we are trying to come up with ways that we can post, if that's videos, if that's graphics, text, like we're really up to anything. I know that Daniela from the Human Rights Commission offered to share her story, and if that will influence others. If any of you guys want to get involved, to make some type of art or anything, we're willing to do that. And then we'll continue to have meetings of this, but that's pretty much where we're kind of at. We're hoping it starts to move along because it is mental health month in May, but it's kind of hard because it's also like June's coming up, which is Pride Month, and Juneteenth, and there's AAPI month, which is May. So, but we're hoping to get a couple of things out this May.
I have a picture of a ton of people in like diversity club of just us like holding little pride flags that we happen to have on hand. So if anyone wanted to use that, then I have it.
Thank you. Good to know. Does anyone else have any comments, questions, thoughts?
Yana, I actually have to leave to go present at school committee on youth mental health, so perfect timing. But I actually have some really great ideas, kind of talking about what Charlotte was just talking about, some of the connections between what the diversity club at the middle school and the high school are trying to do, connected to youth mental health first aid. And also around some of the things coming up around Juneteenth connected to youth mental health first aid, especially with some of the stats here in Wakefield. So I think there's a really good opportunity to blend the two and really shed some light on youth mental health.
Yeah, that would be great. That's exactly what we're trying to show, is that the Human Rights Commission recognizes that mental health is a human right. So that'd be a really good way to connect that. So yeah, anyone's welcome to.
I'm gonna jump.
Okay, anyone's welcome to like email me, or if they have something to share now of how we any thoughts on this project. Really, we're open to everything.
Yeah, I have to say, like, I'm really impressed with how much the Human Rights Commission takes on. And I've never really thought about the correlation between mental health being a human right. And it totally is. And I've just never thought about that. So that's really interesting. And it sounds like we have a lot of exciting stuff coming up with Pride Month and Juneteenth. Some really great stuff.
Yeah.
Anything for Yana? Any questions or anything? And Jan, when does the Human Rights Commission meet, in case anybody wants to go to meetings?
I believe it's the fourth Tuesday at 7 p.m. every month.
Gotcha. Awesome. Yeah. So if anybody ever wants to go, they're always posted on YouTube. I watch them a lot. It's a really great group of people. So
it is. Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Yana. Anything else for Yana? All right. Any liaison updates? Ellie, go ahead.
So I've been communicating with Stephen Ingalls, who is the liaison from the school committee to the youth council. So I hope to do a presentation to the school committee at their next meeting, which I believe is 2 Tuesdays from now, with Jenna, who's the other youth council liaison. So I hope to do like an overview sort of what we've been doing in the past year, and also provide some updates like what exactly the youth council does, especially there are more new members who were just elected. So that's mine.
That sounds awesome. Thank you, Ollie. So I believe that is actually the date of our next scheduled meeting. So don't worry at all that you can't make it. That sounds great. All right. Anything for Ellie or any other liaison updates? Yana.
Sorry, I know I just talked, but I actually have an update. So we're doing the pride flag raising. It's supposed to be June 1st. They might reevaluate that date because there is the people that they had going away because the Washington DC trip, and then it's also prom, which makes things difficult. So, but I wanted to ask you guys, so they're looking for anyone that could be part of the LGBTQ community or in support of them that would feel comfortable to be part of this event. If you would like that could be a poem, share some art, it could be like a speech, legit anything. We're up for anything. And if you are want to be part of this or share your input, please let me know or email me. I'll be happy to hear what you guys have.
Awesome, thank you. Yeah, Mr. Pavey mentioned that in our diversity class today, that they were looking for people. So I'm not sure if that's something that will go out to social studies teachers. So I can talk to him about that and see what the plan is for that.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Anything for Yana or other liaison updates? All right, so let me get my agenda. All right, so for our next meeting, that will be looks like Tuesday the 17th of May. I feel like May is already going by really fast. It's only the 3rd, but May is a really busy month, so hopefully we can make this date work. So does the 17th work for everybody? At the same time, 7 p.m. Ali, I know you and Jenna will be on the school committee meeting. That's totally fine. And don't feel like you have to jump onto this before. Do what you gotta do. We'll be very excited to hear about it. All right. Yeah, Madeline.
That's actually the night of my chorus concert, I believe, and it's at 7.
Okay.
So I
Oh,
don't.
if that's the chorus concert, then I would be at a band concert.
Oh, okay. So it's like the Galvin Spring concert.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm trying to think.
We could also do like, I mean, I know I would be able to do another day that week. If we don't want to do like what we kind of did last time with we went like 2 or 3 weeks
Right.
without a meeting. I know that I could move days.
Okay. Yeah, so it's hard because the next week I'm actually going to be in Colorado. My brother's graduating from the Air Force Academy. So if we were to move it to the following week, Yana would have to run that meeting, but I'm also, what are people's availability on the 19th? Around 7 p.m. Could we do that? Paige says no, Charlotte says yes. All right, why don't I'll send out an email tonight with the poll that we used to do, and I'll kind of feel out people's availabilities, and I will let you all know as soon as possible. Does that sound good with everybody? Okay, awesome, because I really want to make it work for everybody. Cool. So I will do that tonight. And Paige, and I'll also send you the meeting minutes template. Great. And then anything else before we adjourn? Yeah, Mr. Tynes.
Just wanted to a quick announcement. So now that the town election is behind us, town meeting is actually coming up on the 16th. So just to add to that busy week that everyone has in the busy month of May. But this is typically one of 2 town meetings that we do during the year, and part of the bolus of this town meeting is really approving the town's budget for the fiscal year that starts July 1st of 2022 and runs through June 30th of 2023. And then there are some other articles on there, a couple related to some zoning changes that people have proposed. There's an article on there related to a tax financing incentive that we put together for a company that's looking to move to Wakefield. So some interesting and kind of unusual stuff that's there as well. But certainly if anyone's interested in attending, it will be at the Galvin at 7 o'clock, and anyone is welcome to attend. And if you are a registered voter, Lauren and Yana, you can actually not only attend, but also vote and participate and speak. So look out for that. It'll be on CAT as well, and probably live streamed on Facebook if folks are interested. And if anyone does have any questions about kind of how town meeting works or anything like that, feel free to reach out to me.
Great, thank you so much. Yes, I'm planning on going with my parents, so that'll
Awesome.
be fun. I'm really looking forward to it. I've been to town meeting before and I always watch it. So it's really exciting. All right. Anything about town meeting? Any questions or anything?
I'll be there too. So
Awesome.
not participating, but
Yes. Yeah, it's really good to watch because you really get a feel for how Wakefield's government works. It's really unique, like compared to other towns. So it's a really great opportunity. And if you can't make it, you can always watch the recording of it. So.
And I should say, so if you are a registered voter, you can speak. If you are under 18, I believe that you can speak with sort of the permission of kind of town meeting. And so if there is something that comes up or an article that, Madeline, you or anyone else is interested in speaking about, let me know, and I'm happy to kind of present you as a speaker and kind of help you through that process if you want to participate. I mean, it's pretty rare that we have folks under 18 speak, but it has happened before. And, you guys are smart and informed and articulate. And so I know you'd contribute a lot to the discussion.
Yeah, that's really good to know. Thank you. All right. Anything else? Great. All right. Do I have a motion to adjourn our meeting?
I motion.
Thank you. Do I have a second?
I second.
Thank you. All right. Yana,
Yes.
Ali,
Yes.
Thomas,
Yes.
Nick,
Yes.
Sophie,
Yes.
Madeline,
Yes.
and Charlotte.
Yes.
All right, awesome. So our meeting is unanimously adjourned. So I will send out the poll for our next meeting date and I'll let you all know as soon as possible. All right, great. I will see you all soon.